So I've noticed that there is a sentiment about this year, and that it is that the gaming hasn't been that great this year. We've maybe had one or two, big releases that people have been excited about. But overall, I think people's thoughts on gaming in 2022 so far is that it's kind of been a down year.
I would agree with that. I mean, we've had a number of maybe you could say some disappointments and maybe not quite as many success stories. So, hopefully we can break down some of that today and maybe inspire some hope.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I feel like a lot of years, it's really hard to tell how the year was for gaming until the year's over. And obviously the year is not over yet.
Yes, hindsight's 2020 and all that jazz.
Right. In this case, hindsight will be 2022. But, oh yeah, good joke there.
2 thumbs down. That's low effort. You're better than that.
I am better than that. I shouldn't have made that joke. But, we've had some big releases so far. We've had Elden Ring, which I think, for a lot of people, all they needed was Elden Ring. They don't really need another huge game this year because they got Elden Ring.
And they're probably still playing it. They're probably in their 400th hour. There's some kids that I talked to who've played Elden Ring like 5 times already, and they've got hundreds and hundreds of hours. And Elden Ring was really hyped for quite a while before it finally dropped. So
yeah,
a lot of people were really highly anticipating it, and it delivered mostly. So
yeah, I mean, but it was a game that came out early in the year, and I think already we're at the point where people have kind of forgotten that Elden Ring was this year.
We also had Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah, which I thought was a great game, but again, that was early this year, and it came out around the exact same time as Elden Ring, didn't it?
Yeah, it was really,
but within
similar.
the same week or something.
Yeah,
or maybe a week apart. So we had those. From Nintendo, we got Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which is probably their biggest game they've released this year so far.
Yeah, great game. I love that game.
Yeah, it was an awesome game. Oh, we also got Pokemon Legends Arceus at the very beginning of the year.
We did. That one made its way into my backlog folder, so I'm coming back to that one.
That was early this year. It wasn't late last year, was it? It was early this year.
We're going to say yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Again,
I can confirm it
it's
if
like
you want,
one of those things, it's this year has for some reason felt so much longer than other years. Like 2020, 2021 went by so fast, but 2022 has seemed to last forever.
Yeah, and then we had the biggest release probably for the two of us. So I don't want to speak for you, but definitely for me, and that's Last of Us Part 1. Which I'm super excited to probably start tonight.
Right. I mean, there was a lot of controversy around that game, and it wasn't a big release for everybody, but we have had some.
Nobody's perfect.
Some big hitters, That's the point, is we have had some big hitters so far this year, but I still think that for whatever reason, people are looking at this year saying, it's not been very good for gaming.
Yeah, and what I think, I don't want to be negative, but I think a lot of that, or some of that, probably stems from the fact that a lot of these people still can't get the next gen consoles, and that definitely is going to color your view of the year,
And we've also had some games that were some disappointments, and I think that those you always weigh out the negatives more than the cons. So even though we've only had a few of these big disappointments, we've had some big disappointments in games, especially from Nintendo, which is kind of sad because we had Mario Strikers.
What a flop.
Which really flopped. Even though it was a good at its core,
that game came and went in 36 hours.
Yeah. It was crazy.
It was the fastest life cycle I've ever seen.
We also had Switch Sports, which Switch Sports was another one that people were super excited about because it was, calling back to Wii Sports. Yeah. And people loved Wii Sports. But, Wii Sports time has come and gone. And I don't think, Switch Sports, it was cool for nostalgia's sake. But in terms of being a big game, it just wasn't.
Yeah, I didn't even play that one.
No,
They didn't have baseball. They didn't have my game.
I played it, and I liked the soccer game.
Yeah.
But other than that, it just was, I mean, I really would not have wanted to spend $60 on it. Thank goodness I rented it.
Yeah.
But then probably the biggest disappointment this year so far is probably Saints Row.
Really? You think that's the biggest disappointment of the year?
Which one can you name that's been a bigger disappointment?
I don't know. For me, it was Mario Strikers, but I mean, I know that's just me, but
I think more people Mario Strikers definitely was a disappointment, but I think that for the general audience, Saints Row was probably the biggest flop we've seen, and it's also the most recent flop we've seen.
Yeah. Sorry, general audience.
So because we've had these flops,
general audience,
general audience. Because we've had these flops, I think a lot of people are 2022 hasn't been a great year.
But Randy, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I thought you were serving it to me.
I'm going to serve it
I
to
thought
you.
we were playing ball here.
Yeah.
But we've had some flops, we've had some successes, we've also had some middle of the road.
Yeah.
We've also had some middle of the road, like the Quarry.
Yeah, which was I enjoyed a lot.
We loved the Quarry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think people loved the Quarry, but it just didn't have a lot of staying power. It didn't seem to stick around forever. But
Which that kind of game you really can't expect.
It's an interactive horror movie, like
Yeah.
horror movie.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
It was a different type of game there.
yeah,
But
that's different.
It's different. But yeah, I mean, the Quarry was really great, and I think it was definitely slept on by a number of people.
What was it now?
Yeah. But we also had games like Ghostwire Tokyo, which I think I really liked, but a lot of people didn't play. You didn't play that.
I didn't play that, no.
Live Alive, which we loved.
Live Alive is currently sitting my game of the year.
Yeah, but a lot of people didn't play it, although it was really good. I mean,
You missed out if you didn't play Live Alive. I mean, no, you didn't. You could still play it.
you can still play it. Yeah,
But,
it's not always gone.
Man, you need to play it.
Yeah, it's really great. But not a whole lot of people played it. So, but we've in the past week or two, we've had all these showcases, and for whatever reason, it seems to have put people in a really good mood about gaming. People are now excited about the remainder of 2022, and 2023 looks like it could be a really good year. So, everyone just seems excited now. We had the Nintendo Direct. We had the
Sony State of Play.
yeah, and we had Tokyo Game Show,
Yep.
and that's all been very recent, and it's made people really excited about what's coming up. But before we go into what those showcases
Yes.
had, what games are coming up this year? I think there's a lot that people are excited about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Splatoon 3 just dropped.
Yeah.
So I know you're playing. You're playing the story mode in that right now, which is not really something I'm interested in. I'm kind of interested in trying out the online, but
Which I will get to, and
Yeah.
and I'll tell you that game is really high quality. It
looks that way.
It's not like one of those games that come out and it's just a lot of games get sent out unfinished.
Yeah.
And Nintendo has been known to do this.
They're
Look at
like-
Mario Strikers and look at Switch Sports, right? They've shown us that they can do that.
Yeah.
But then Splatoon 3 comes out and it is polished, man. It is really good.
And people say it's got like a real online lobby system. Like they're finally catching up to like the 360.
I know, right?
You know, like I'm very, very, very excited about that.
But also from Nintendo, we have Bayonetta 3 coming out this year, which I'm super pumped about.
Yep.
You've never played any Bayonettas.
No, but I want to play through them because I do want to play 3.
Yeah, it's both Bayonetta 1 and 2 are both excellent games. So I'm super pumped about 3. Yeah.
We've got Sonic Frontiers coming out, which people seem to have kind of flip-flopped on. Like people seemed kind of low on it. Now people seem kind of high on it.
Yeah.
So
Well, they've done a really weird thing with Sonic Frontiers in that every time we see it, it looks better. But why didn't they just show us the best stuff to begin with? Usually it's the other way around. They show you like some crazy expectations and then gradually temper your expectations as you get closer to release.
yeah,
But in this case, it's like everything they showed just looks better and better.
I think this might be a better way to do it though. This might be a better way to market your stuff.
Your stuff.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm
No.
on a break.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think
Your stuff.
start people with low expectations and then gradually, get them more and more hyped. I think, yeah, definitely. Nintendo's going to release Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which I'm going to play.
No, of course.
I'm going to play it,
I'll
but
play it.
I can't say that I'm extremely excited to play it, but I'm going to play it.
If I'm like ranking my excitement, like from 1 to 10, 1 to 10.
What?
That's a new
You
thing.
do like Tim a lot.
If I'm from 1 to 10, I'm at like a Pete.
Okay. I think I got what you're saying there.
Yeah.
Not quite a Tim, but you're at a Pete.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but he's like between 2 and 3.
Okay.
Just so you know. Yeah, we're also getting Skull and Bones from Ubisoft.
I personally think that game is going to flop hard, but I'm going to play it as well.
Man, it's an Ubisoft game. Like I don't know, man.
It may do better than we expect, but it's like I already feel like people have written it off.
It does not look like the game for me. I every time I see it, like I thought it was going to be the game for me, and I just think it's not.
I'm renting it hard, and because I'm not buying that game, I'm going to rent it, and then if I love it, if somehow I love it, I'll keep it. But
I think I'll just walk across the yard and watch you play it for a few minutes
and see if it's
see what it's like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope coming out.
I'm definitely going to get that.
Yeah, I loved the first Mario plus Rabbids game.
Man, I never bought it. I need to buy the first one because you can find it cheap now. But I loved playing it at your house. That was super fun. It's XCOM with Mario. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it. We got Evil West coming out, which I've thought looked cool for a while since it got announced. And
Evil West is like, I'm low-key excited
It looks
about
metal.
Evil West. Yeah. It looks really, really good. We have some like superhero games coming out. We've got Gotham Knights, which, what they've shown has people mixed. We have Marvel's Midnight Suns, which
is a new basketball team.
Marvel's Midnight Suns.
The Midnight Suns.
But that game has people it seems like people want to like it, but they're just not excited about what they see,
Explain this title to me. Midnight Suns. Like, are they just being contradictory for the sake of it sounding neat? I mean, what is...
I think it's a comic thing. I don't know what it is.
Midnight Suns.
That's correct, right? It is Midnight Suns, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm sure it is a comic thing. It just doesn't... If you really break it down, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
It's like calling it the Noon Moons.
I'm not really into the Marvel stuff, so I don't know what it's a reference to.
Yeah. Well,
but I might try the game, but I don't know. Have you seen any of this gameplay for it?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, but the big one.
The big one.
The big one.
Mac Daddy.
I mean,
the god of all upcoming games
is God of War Ragnarok, and
praise be.
See, the thing is, this could be the game that turned, like, if we have Elden Ring, is the success it is, it's super successful. If Ragnarok repeats what God of War 2018 did, then we're going to have it's going to be a huge year.
Man, I'm so hyped for that.
Dude,
that's going to be so good. It looks so good. Gosh.
Dude,
did you see with Thor? Oh my God.
I saw it.
When they throw the hammer and the axe and then they both call them back at the same time, I yelped. I yelped.
That's the way to do a trailer right there. I mean, yeah. So
I went, whoo!
We really do. We just listed out like 10 games that are going to be potentially some big games that are coming out at the end of this year. So like, it's going to be packed.
It is.
These last few months of the year. I mean, it is going to be packed.
I don't know that all these upcoming games are created equal.
No, I think that we could have some flops in there. I think that both Gotham Knights and Midnight Suns, I think those could flop.
Skull and Bones.
I think Skull and Bones is probably going to flop.
Evil West is kind of unproven. It looks awesome.
Right. Evil West is going to, it may end up being mid-tier, or it may end up being awesome, or it may end up flopping. We just don't know.
We don't know.
But Scarlet and Violet's going to be successful, even if it's good, even if it's bad. I mean,
it's going to sell 1 million.
It's going to sell
a billion, bajillion.
Frontiers, we're unsure about. Bayonetta 3 probably is going to be okay because it's got such a a following. I think it's going to be good. And we know Splatoon 3 just came out and it's great. So
I hope Mario plus Rabbids is good and sells good, so they make more of those games because I just love the gameplay in the first one. Well, you want to go through some of these showcases and
like what stood out to you out of like the Nintendo Direct we had last week? What was the thing that stood out to you?
Well, the first thing that stood out to me was the first thing because I'm a huge Fire Emblem fan.
Yeah.
And I was so happy to see Fire Emblem Engage get announced and it not have Warriors in the title. That made me really happy.
Yeah.
I don't really like the title. That being said, it kind of sounds like a mobile game.
Yeah.
But it's not.
No.
So whatever. It looked really good to me and it looked... I don't know, like, I liked Three Houses a lot. I thought Three Houses was really good. I didn't think, like, at my core, I didn't like it as much as the older Fire Emblem games, like the ones I grew up with on the GBA.
Did you play GameCube?
No, actually, I never played, I never had, like, Path of Radiance.
That's ones people love, right?
Yeah, and I need to play it. I have the ROM.
You were a handheld Fire Emblem.
I was a handheld Fire Emblem guy. I played the 3DS ones and I played the GBA ones. But this one looked like it might be kind of getting back to that instead of being all like Three Houses was it tried to do a little more, and I didn't love all the added stuff. But the gameplay was great. So I'm just hoping for some really good like return to form Fire Emblem gameplay, and I'll be over the moon.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna skip out on the Fire Emblem game, but I just haven't played any of them. But I'll live through you. I'll enjoy the experience through you. Now, one of the things that I got most excited about from the Nintendo Direct was the Kirby's Return to Dreamland remake. I guess they're calling it like Deluxe or something.
They're calling it Deluxe.
Yeah. And this is a Wii game that I haven't played, but in the past year, I've really come around to really liking Kirby games a lot.
Me too.
And I'm excited to play this, especially since they've added this co-op mode, and that means that I can enjoy the game with my wife, who also really likes Kirby games. So I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, me too. I mean, that announcement kind of caught me off guard, but I was excited about it.
They love Kirby, man. They will. You can rely on Nintendo putting out Kirby games because Kirby, they just love that character.
Yeah. So we also got a little more of a look at Bayonetta 3.
Right. Which every time I see
great.
it looks great. I mean, there's not much to say about it besides I'm excited to play it. It's going to be a good game, I think.
Now I want to flop the order of these next two.
Okay, yeah,
So I just want to mention that we also got about, I don't know, between like 10 and 12,000 farming RPGs. So if you're like a Harvest Moon guy, or if you really like Stardew Valley, but you don't want it to be quite as good or in depth as Stardew Valley, Nintendo has something for you coming up. You know?
Really, I think it was like Square putting all this stuff on
Yes.
on the Switch. Oh my gosh, so many. I think that the real count is legitimately 7 games that were like.
I thought it was 6. Maybe it is 7.
I think one of them was like. I think it was 6 really like clear ones, and then one of them was a little in disguise, but it also has some farming sim elements in it.
Shout out to Donkey. If you want to go watch a hilarious video about the Nintendo Direct, go watch Donkey talk about all these farming sims. It was so funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you want to play a fishing minigame, I bet you've got 7 versions coming up. But the big one, you know, the probably the other biggest thing that we're going to talk about today was we got a freaking title reveal for the next big Legend of Zelda game, the sequel to Breath of the Wild, and they're calling it Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom.
I'm assuming it's not Tears.
No, they
did
clarify
that?
Yeah, they
Okay.
clarified.
I thought it was Tears all the
It's
time.
Tears,
so.
yeah. Tears makes way more sense than Tears.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, I was super excited to have not only a title reveal, but also
A release
what we're
date.
going to hope is a firm release date. It's coming in May. I don't know why, but I was thinking like maybe it would come in March, kind of mirror the original Breath of the Wild release. Nope, it's going to be May.
I'm actually really fine with May because that's like right when I get out of school for the summer.
Right. So
That's really good timing for me.
Yeah. It's probably better timing for you.
Yeah.
And you can experience it right when it comes out. Yeah, I'm super excited. My only thing that I got to do is now, before May, I got to go back and replay Breath of the Wild and get myself in the mood. Or like, not get myself in the mood because I'm in the mood, but to set myself up. You know, go back and just
Are we
re-experience.
back to talking about the quarry here? Yeah, no, I'm in the mood too.
Yeah.
I actually don't have Breath of the Wild anymore.
Oh, that's right. You
I lent it to somebody.
lent it to somebody and now it's forever gone.
Yeah.
You need to reacquire Breath of the Wild.
I know. So if anybody wants to give me Breath of the Wild, reach out.
What about the Sony State of Play? What stood out to you there? What was your favorite thing there?
Well, besides God of War.
God of War, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
besides
that
God
was
of
the
War.
way it ended, and it was amazing. That was
Yeah.
such a good trailer. If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
Yeah, besides God of War, I talked to you about this yesterday. Tekken 8's trailer got me so hot.
And you don't even like fighting
I don't
games.
like fighting games. I know I wouldn't like it. Like, I know that if I had this game, I would play it, and I would probably think it was really cool at first, and then I would just eventually hit, like, my skill ceiling, and I would be like, I don't want to push through this. This is too complicated. I don't want to play all these... I don't want to do all the combinations and combos, like... And I'd probably just stop playing it. But, God, it looked fire.
It did. I think that's that Unreal Engine 5. Like, we haven't seen many Unreal Engine 5 games yet, and this one looks phenomenal.
So good.
Graphics-wise, I mean, like, we haven't seen a trailer that looked like that in a while. It looks so good. I mean, I don't like fighting games, but I have to say the trailer looked really nice. I hope that they said it was in-engine, and that's how the game's going to look. So
That's
we'll
ridiculous.
see. There was no HUD in the trailer, so it won't look exactly like that. And it was hard to tell the way they pieced it together. It was hard to tell like what parts were actual gameplay and what part was just cinematics. It's hard to tell, but they say it's going to look like that.
It looked awesome.
Yeah.
So if you're a Tekken fan, I'd say this is a time to be happy.
We also had Rise of the Ronin, which I know on a phone call we had earlier, you were telling me that you were excited about that one too.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks like... I mean, I just love Ghost of Tsushima, and that's exactly what it reminded me of. It looked like Ghost of Tsushima, but you can shoot guns.
Can't ask for much more than
I
that.
can't ask for anything more. I mean, anything else would be greedy.
Yeah. We had Tokyo Game Show, and I really didn't pay much attention to the Tokyo Game Show.
Me either.
I never do.
Nope.
It's one of those events that
I don't speak Japanese.
It's one of those events that sometimes they have some cool stuff, but I always just kind of wait for recaps and see if there's anything cool that came up.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot. We have a Deathloop coming to Game Pass, which is
That's
cool,
big news.
but that leaked out early.
Yeah.
It leaked out early that Deathloop was coming to Game Pass, so that really wasn't an exciting thing.
If you're a manga / anime fan and you're into One Piece Odyssey's coming out. I've kind of started to dip my toe into One Piece.
Yeah.
I'm certainly a manga and anime fan, but whatever. It sounds like from what I gathered, it's an original story, so it's not like following, a manga arc or something, and that's cool. A good anime game is hard to come by, so if it's good, I'm happy.
I know a lot of people are wanting a good One Piece game.
Yeah.
We also got another look at Exoprimal, and what I've seen looks cool.
It does look cool. It looks like it's got.
I'm not sold on it yet.
Nah, it's not something I'm gonna play.
That's one of those games I'm just gonna wait and see what everyone thinks about it.
Yeah, it has like a horde kind of mode, and I do love that from Gears. So, I won't say I guess I shouldn't play. I shouldn't say I won't play it, but probably won't.
Yeah. But overall, all these showcases, all these great games coming up, it seems like 2022 may turn around, and maybe once we get out of the year, we may realize, hey, 2022 wasn't a bad year for gaming after all, even though that has seemed to be what people are thinking so far.